Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, so we pick up where we left off last episode, and pretty much Giselle stepped to Mia wrong. Like, she approached her wrong. You don't walk up to someone and say, "Is this what cancer looks like? Cancer or no cancer?" That was rude as hell, especially when you don't know what's going on. You just don't approach anyone like that. So I guess this is how Mia's bestie, Jacqueline, earns her spot as a friend of the show, because she rolls up on the group and she's like, what was said? You know, she's not playing these games. She's very protective of Mia. And I'm side-eyeing her and Mia, but we're going to get to that. She's letting them know, like, look, this girl is still in limbo. She's still not sure what's really going on. She's still going through tests. She's still going through scans. So y'all raise up off my friend. And I mean, I can't be mad at the lady for that, because I mean, that's her friend. She did what a friend's supposed to do. At some point, Wendy, Candace, Escala, and I think Ashley, they make their way over to the others, and they're like, yo, what's going on? And Karen fills them in. And Wendy, she looks over at Jacqueline, she's like, who's this? And I was like, that was kind of rude, Wendy. Why did you say, who's this? You should have said, wait, excuse me, who are you? Well, that would have been rude too. But I just felt like it was a different way to say it. But when she was like, who's this? It's like she not standing right there and can't speak and introduce herself. But girl, whatever. Robin interjects and she's like, look, what we not about to do on today is act like Giselle and I were the only ones asking questions or doubting Mia's story. Everybody had questions. Ashley, you had questions. Karen, you had questions. Candace, you had questions. Everybody had questions. Y'all not about to make it just seem like it's me and Giselle. And you're right, Robin. But only Giselle walked up to that girl and said, girl, is this what cancer, no cancer looks like? Ashley ain't do that. Candace ain't do that. Karen ain't do that. You didn't even do that. So I'm with you, but I ain't with you all the way. Katie and Sharice both show up and kind of break up that whole little situation. And I don't know why I thought Sharice had already shown up. Am I tripping? I don't know. But you know what? We didn't see so many sneak peeks and clips here and there. So maybe that's why my mind is a little confused. But okay. Hey, Sharice. Hey, Katie. We ain't seen you in a long time, girl. Now, I'm going to say this here. They kept making jokes about Karen, because Karen takes the time to make a little speech or whatever, and what she's saying, I don't know that it didn't make sense, but she was very long-winded, and the people didn't care nothing about what she was talking about. But I remember Giselle was saying something like, why are we having a spring party in a Mexican restaurant? And Robin says something, everybody was making little jokes. I didn't really appreciate that, because I was like, this is a cute situation that she put together. I'm into it. The aesthetics are everything. It looks great. It looks a lot better than anything, Giselle, you've ever thrown. So don't do it. Don't do that. Giselle, don't do that. She didn't have y'all at no construction site now, did she? This was a nice little setup. And what's wrong with having a spring party in a Mexican restaurant? Is there not spring in Mexico? Mexico has hosted many a spring breaker. So what are you talking about, Giselle? Cut it out now. Don't do that. Giselle was also being real messy because she ushers Katie on over to Ray. And, you know, they're having a little moment or whatever. And Karen is like, yo, Ray is over there cheesing and everything. And she goes and she lets him know, like, Ray, you need to behave. And Ray is really just getting his life. And I was just like, I mean, I guess Ray, like, have a little fun. He's not going to do, what is Ray and Katie going to do? Let them have fun, Karen. It ain't that deep. But I did peep how Giselle was being messy. That was real. Giselle, girl, you just can't help yourself, huh? So this episode, there was a lot of individual scenes at home, and I'm gonna skip over most of them because, you know, I don't really feel like talking about it. You know, that's the real reason. Ain't no other reason. I just don't care about it. We're gonna skip to the good part, okay? Robin and Giselle link for breakfast, I guess, lunch, whatever. And Robin is like, girl, before we get down to business, I got to get something off my chest. You tried me. And she's like, what are you talking about, Robin? What did I do? She's like, think hard. And Giselle's like, I don't know. Girl, you threw your homegirl under the bus and told everybody how her man's name ain't on the house. Explain yourself. Explain yourself, Giselle. Giselle tries to kind of get out of it and like, girl, I'm sorry. I didn't really realize I said it. And before I realized I said it, and I looked and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, but whatever. But it was Ashley's fault because Ashley is the one pretending like she's getting a divorce and she ain't really getting a divorce. And so Robin's like, exactly. So how the hell did that come up? And she was like, oh, well, I was just, yeah, you was running your mouth. You was letting Robin's business spill, but you don't never make that mistake with your business. And Robin lets her know, like, what if I did that to you? And she was like, oh, wait a minute now. Yeah. Yeah. I think Robin should let it happen at some point. I'm just saying. Give her a little taste, just a little taste. Let her know how it feels. Because, you know, Giselle, you tried it. You really did. So they discussed the whole Mia situation and they realized like, yeah, Giselle, the way you approached Mia, it was wrong. And she was like, yeah, I should apologize, shouldn't I? And they come up with an apology message to text to Mia. And I mean, I guess at least she's acknowledging that she was wrong. I will give you that, Giselle. Growth. So we move on to the whole conversation that Ashley and Robin had, but we only see this through a flashback as she's explaining it to Giselle. And y'all saw what happened. Ashley is all giddy about a DM she says she received from Chris at 2:42 in the morning. And she knows that Candace was not around. And so that's what it is. And she feels like Chris was either trying to holler at her or her homegirl. And Robin very carefully goes step by step to explain to Ashley, this ain't what you think it is. But she don't care nothing about that because she has an agenda. And as Robin is letting Giselle know, you know, what happened, she was like, I had to let her know, like, girl, he ain't trying to get at you. And he did not slide in your DMs. And Giselle is like, oh, he definitely slid. I guess. Giselle lets us know that she too has received DMs from Chris. Now, first of all, before we even go there, to go to someone's page and DM them is not the same as you're going through stories at the top of Instagram and you come across someone's story and it gives you the option to comment and the comment goes into their inbox. That is not the same as DMing someone. Those are two different things. And the fact that they kept trying to say that it was the same, it was like, okay, I see what y'all doing. I see. Giselle says the DMs that she's received from Chris over the years, they have all been innocent and there's nothing wrong with them, but it makes her uncomfortable. She lets it go because she just doesn't want to start an issue, but she doesn't like it. And that's fair. That is very fair. Robin doesn't seem to think so because Robin's like, he sends me them too. There's nothing there. There's nothing to write about. It's no big deal. She was like, he's cooked for us. We've been to their home. Like we've been hanging out with Chris for years now. Why all of a sudden is it an issue if he DMs you or he messages you? Like, what's the problem? And she was like, well, you know what happened last year after the reunion. And see, okay, so the original tea that I heard when this story first broke a couple of months ago was that back in Giselle's dressing room, which I guess was their hotel room, Chris went there. He did something inappropriate with Giselle, and her hairstylist, Cal, witnessed the entire thing. That's the story that I heard. We learned differently tonight. He was waiting for Giselle in the hallway, apparently. He said, I'd like to speak to you privately. He goes in the room. They go in the room. She realizes her glam team is not there. So now she feels uncomfortable. But she's like, Chris is there. He's talking. She doesn't remember what he says. But then at the same time, she's saying that he was complaining about Candace. And so she felt like he was trying to use that as a way to get at her. Giselle says that she was uncomfortable because she has been cheated on by her husband. And she would never want her name associated or implicated in some cheating rumors. So she felt very uncomfortable being in the room alone with Chris. I understand that because I too would feel the same way. And sometimes, you know, when you're in a situation like that, you don't really know what to do to handle it. Sometimes it gets a little weird. It gets a little tricky. I do understand that. But where Giselle lost me was when she said that, well, she's been tried by men before and she felt as though Chris was trying her to see if she was with it. That's where I gotta look at Giselle a little sideways, because if you said he was complaining about his wife, but then you say you don't remember what he was saying, that's the part I look at you a little sideways, because they do show the clip from the reunion where she was asking why Chris was upset, and Chris was like, I will speak to you about it later. And I remember last year when we were on Spaces, Chris mentioned something about that. Like, oh, he had a conversation with Giselle. It's been a couple months. It's been a while, so I don't remember. It's been a while, so I don't remember exactly what he said. But he did let us know that he took time out to go see Giselle and speak to her about what was going on at the reunion. So when Giselle says that Chris was complaining about Candace, I'm side-eyeing her a little bit, because I don't think he was mad at Candace at the reunion. But you know what he could have been? Could have been mad about the whole Miss Dorothy. Might be about the Miss Dorothy thing, right? It might be about Candace's mama and that whole situation, because I'm trying to figure out why he would be complaining about his wife to you, Giselle. We're going to figure this thing out. We're going to figure this out by the end of this season, okay? Because you can't be just throwing out stuff like that. And because now we want to know. Our interest is piqued. You can't just say that and we walk away. Or you're not going to do us like Crystal been doing us in Beverly Hills. We're going to get to the bottom of this, okay? But yeah, after all her explaining, Robin still isn't buying it. She said she knew about the situation. Giselle told her about it when it happened, and Robin is not convinced. And if Robin ain't convinced, you can't convince me, okay? I will say this though, Chris, I hope a very valuable lesson was learned. I really, really do. I really hope you learned your lesson, Chris. So they flash back to Karen having a post-op appointment to make sure Tiff and Fee are healing nicely, which they are. Good for her. She's also having a solo scene with Ray, and they're talking about the, her adjustments. Okay, so Ray expresses in the conversation how he would not like for Karen to encourage their daughter Raven into getting any plastic surgery. And Karen's like, well, I wouldn't tell her to do it now, but if she does want to do it later on, I'm going to be there for her. And Ray's like, nah, I don't want her to do that at all. And I have no problem with the girls that get, nips and tucks, do what makes you happy. I'm all here for it. But I'm kind of with Ray on it. Like, if you ain't got to do it, don't do it. It's just very scary to me, okay? I am a scaredy cat. I will be the first to admit it. I ain't ashamed of it at all. I am a scaredy cat. And I'm probably saying that because I was blessed right here, right? But yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. If you don't have to have surgery done, it's like, why? I don't know. Like, I get it. If it makes you happy, do what you want to do. You know what I mean? For me, I'm with Ray. I wouldn't do it unless I had to do it. Do what you want to do. I'm not against it. It's just for me, I'm scared. That's all I'm saying. So I'm with Ray. And I feel like Ray sounds like a lot of fathers. I remember I seen a tweet a couple months back where somebody was saying nobody loves your natural hair more than your daddy. And that's very true. Dads don't want their daughters doing all of that stuff. They don't want that. And Ray is no different, we see. Moving on. Okay, so Mia, Gordon, and Jacqueline meet up for lunch, I believe. And they're talking about, her testing and how she was in the MRI machine. And like I said, I don't think that Mia was making up what was going on. I just feel like she did want sympathy. She did want the girls to kind of, make a fuss over her, and she didn't get the reaction she was looking for because Mia's credibility is kind of shot in this group. But like I said, I hope that Mia is doing well because like I said, she got the little babies to take care of. Gordon is already up there in age. We don't need nothing happening to Mia. We need them babies to have their mama on this earth for a very, very long time. So again, well wishes and good vibes. We're sending that to you, Mia, because, girl, life be lifing, okay? As she's explaining this, Jacqueline lets it be known this is why she was very disgusted by what the ladies tried to do to Mia the other day at the spring fling party. And if she's a bestie, I can understand that because we learn in this scene that Mia and Jacqueline have been friends since they were 15 years old, and that's a long ass time, you know. Um, and I'm gonna get to that. But so I can understand why she's protective of her friend. I get it. But girl, this is girl, do you know what show this is? They do stuff like that on this show, Jacqueline. You're gonna have to catch up. But yeah, Jacqueline, she ain't feeling how the girls came at Mia, but Jacqueline, I got my good eye on you. You seem a little shady. You seem a little shady because we see in this scene, she kind of throws the idea out there that maybe Karen kind of set you up a little bit. She somewhat suggests that maybe Karen was being a little shady or sneaky towards Mia in this whole situation. Like she let Mia walk into a trap. And Mia's like, well, she did send me a text message. And now Mia is starting to second guess Karen. And she's like, well, Karen had plenty of time to let me know that they was talking shit about me behind my back. And so I feel like she just planted a seed. Jacqueline planted a seed just now. And it's like, girl, you don't even know these ladies just yet. And I was already looking at Jacqueline suspicious because how is this your best friend of 15 years? And then you guys go on this show and after one season, y'all are at each other's throat. Y'all having mad day on social media. You know, Mia's credibility is already shot with the audience and her castmates. But Jacqueline, I don't quite trust you either because that is your best friend. And you know what they say about the company you keep. So I don't know. That Jacqueline, y'all better watch out for that Jacqueline. I don't know about her, but we gonna see. Okay, so this Ashley and Candace sit down scene. Ciao. Ashley lets Candace know off the rip, girl. I get this DM at 2:42 in the morning from Chris, and Candace was like, my husband? Your husband, girl, your husband. Catch up. Your husband, girl. And she's pretty much letting her know what it is. And Candace is like, yeah, but he works there. You know, he's a manager. And she's like, yeah. And it's like pretty much every single thing that Robin hit at Ashley, Candace says the exact same shit. And I was really proud of that. I was like, okay, so her trust for her husband did not waver, not at all. She was like, I know my husband ain't stupid. He ain't no fool. Because Chris would have to really be a fool or an evil human being to try to mess with Ashley or her friend or Giselle. He would have to be a fool. He would only want to do that if he wanted to be caught. And he wanted to humiliate Candace. There's no way he ain't nobody that sneaky in the damn world. Ain't nobody that's a sneaky person is not that dumb. If y'all want to say the man was being sneaky. But anyways, Ashley wrapped that conversation up real quick because she realized her bullshit was not going to work on today. And I feel like Candace handled it very, very, very well, okay? Shout out to my girl. Kudos to you. She did not let that lady see her sweat, not even a little bit, because she trusts her man. But I will say this. I hope Candace has her good eye on Ashley because I feel like Ashley was just way too excited to come and deliver this to Candace. She's been waiting on the opportunity to humble Candace since Candace stepped on the scene. She's been waiting to get her lick back from season 4 and season 5. When Candace, Chris, and Robin said that they heard Michael Darby say he wanted she been waiting for her get back, okay? When you brought that information to her down to the lake house about Michael Darby's adventures at the strip club and at the MGM Grand, she's been waiting to get you back. Side note, I don't think that Ashley was really that shocked at the information that Candace gave to her back in season 5. A lot of times, y'all be really going to tell these women what their husbands was doing, what their men was doing, and they be already knowing. I feel like Ashley Darby knew what her man was up to. She knew what Michael was up to. She just didn't want y'all to know what he was up to. And the person she dislikes the most on the cast happens to be the messenger. She didn't want that message. She already knew. She already knew what was going on. And so, Candace, because you decided to come and deliver this information to her, this is her payback. This is her get back. She was getting her lick back. Because to be very honest, if I ran that information by Robin and Robin was to tell me like, girl, you know, he the general manager, he was just trying to bring some traffic into his spot, I would have felt like a fool if I was Ashley. But Ashley was committed to her revenge plot. She did this on purpose. So Ashley, you ain't innocent. And Candace, I hope you really peeping what's really going on. But again, Candace handled that really well because she was like, yeah, girl, you know, if my husband was out there doing some things, I'm the type of girl that would want to know. And she was like, I would tell you. And Ashley was like, yeah, you did tell me. She ain't forget. She acted like she appreciated you telling her what was going on with Michael, but I promise you, Ashley already knew what her guy was up to. She already knew what that man be doing. She ain't new to this. The rest of us, we didn't know. You, Candace, you didn't know, but Ashley knew. And she didn't appreciate you telling her her business on the show. She didn't want that. She didn't want that out there. This is Get Back. I promise you it is. So Ashley is hosting a dance class event. She has been inspired by the TikTok video trend. And here we are. She's invited the ladies and they about to make a day of it. Karen can't make it, but everybody else is gonna be in attendance. And she's ready to show y'all what she could do. Ashley, we be talking about Giselle's outfits, but Ashley outfits don't be no better. But anyways. Okay, so the ladies arrive at the dance studio and Ashley lets them know that Karen is not coming. She's not well. And they not buying it. They feel like she's avoiding Cherise. And Robin, I love you, girl, but girl. Robin says like, oh, Karen has been avoiding Cherise probably because of the blue eyes rumor. And I'm like, y'all, hang that up. Hang it up. We know that Cherise has been attending the same events that you guys have been attending for seasons. She been gone, what, season 4, season 6, but she ain't really been gone. We be seeing the pictures. Cherise is always in attendance. Cherise is always in the mix. Ain't no way that Karen is running away from season 2 rumors of blue eyes. I'm not buying it. Like, that sounds silly. That sounds real silly. They all like, come on now. Y'all reaching. So Robin moves on over to Giselle and Ashley, and she was like, don't y'all got something to talk about? And Ashley was like, yeah, Giselle, girl, I didn't really like how you handled me at that party. You was accusing me of looking for attention about this divorce thing. And Giselle is like, girl, you conflating issues now. I said Mia was looking for attention and you were lying to me. That's what I said. And they start kind of going at it, which I was like, oh, so y'all beefing now? Oh, y'all arguing? Okay. Ashley reminds Giselle, like, girl, don't be coming for me. Did you not get back with your ex-husband? So don't put no time limit on my affections for my current husband. And she was right. I mean, she was right. Giselle wasn't wrong with what she was saying, but it's like, Giselle, don't nobody owe you an explanation. Like, we don't like Michael Darby at all, but if the lady don't want to leave her husband, what is it to you? What is it to you? Like, I don't know. I ain't mad at her getting on Ashley's case, though. I'm really not. I'm not mad at her and Robin questioning nothing about this divorce, because when Ashley stepped on the scene, Ashley used to act just like that. She felt like everybody owed her their business. And if you wasn't going to tell her your business, she was going to go and research you. She was going to go and do a background check and find out how much money you had in your accounts. She was going to go find out all your business and bring it and put it on Front Street. So I ain't really feeling bad for Ashley at the same time. I'm not. I can understand why she's annoyed and I can understand the frustration. But am I feeling bad for her because they're grilling her ass? Not at all. Because you did the same thing. most of what we know about Robin and Juan's relationship, we have learned from Ashley. Like, Ashley put all their business out there. She was like, Juan had a girlfriend. He was living with the girlfriend. When it didn't work with the girlfriend, that's why he came back to you, Robin. We remember all the shit that you did, Ashley. I am not a season 5 watcher. I've been watching since day 1. So, girl, enjoy. This is your moment. You drag, and at least they know you. So they kind of have some type of investment into how things go on with your life. When you was airing people's business out, you didn't know these women like that. You did not know Robin when you blasted how much money she had in her bank account. You didn't know her. You didn't know her children when you were telling her she needs to leave Juan because she's not raising her children in a healthy environment. When you was doing all those little antics, you didn't even know her. So at least now these women, you say they're your good friends, they have a right to say what they got to say. So it is what it is. So anyways, the girls get to their, dancing and whatnot, and everybody starts coming in late. Candace shows up, Wendy shows up, Mia shows up. I don't remember the order, but they all show up. They dancing. I don't care nothing about their bad dance. They having fun, and that's all that matter. I don't care nothing about they dancing. We already seen them try to dance last season, and it ain't really improved too much. So after they do their dancing, Giselle's like, I want to talk to Candace alone. So she's talking to Candace, and Giselle feels like, look, Chris has been making people feel uncomfortable. He's made me feel uncomfortable. Ashley, we need to put a stop to this so that he can, so he can know by himself. She lets Candace know everything that she said to Robin. She also lets us know that she ran this information by Cal, her hairstylist, her bestie, and Cal said to her that he did not like that Chris did that because Chris knew that he wasn't there. Chris had said goodbye to him earlier. So he knew that Giselle would be alone in the room. And I can understand Giselle not wanting to be alone in a room with a married man. I totally get it. But she's kind of, the way she's talking, I don't really trust Giselle, because this is my thing. You say this thing happened at the reunion. Right after the reunion, you guys were in LA together. You guys went to the Real. You and Candace and Ashley was going all, y'all was on the town in LA hanging out. You had that on your mind, and you were still able to be in Candace them company and not say anything. You wait for the cameras to start rolling before you say something. That's where it gets weird for me. If you felt so uncomfortable, you waited months before you tell your friend, girl. You had no problem going on interviews saying how Candace was broke. Candace ain't got no money. Candace is this, Candace is that. The entire time you have this on your chest. You don't call your friend and be like, girl, this is what happened. We gotta talk. That's where it made me look at Giselle like, But yeah, Candace gets upset. She looks at the camera. She's like, oh, this is what we're doing. And she gathers her belongings, and she's like, she's looking for Eric, the producer. Poor Eric, he done been through enough. He done been through a lot. I hope y'all pay that man really well. Okay, Bravo. Okay, Truly. Hope y'all paying that man very well, because he be going through some things. He done gone through some things on this show. They get Eric for her, and she lets him know. She has a little meltdown in the restroom, and she was like, my husband, y'all ain't gonna do that with my man, okay? If y'all want to do that, Michael Darby is right there. He's the real creep. He is the real one who goes around. He's the one that goes around grabbing people without their consent. Y'all not gonna do my husband like that. And I was like, yes, girl, let them know. I already said it. If y'all can't get Robin to co-sign it, y'all damn sure can't convince me that this shit is real. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like it's just bogus. It's really bogus, because I do know that I've been in situations like that where the man clearly has a wife or a girlfriend and they think that they could try you. Trust me, a lot of us have been in those situations. And like I said, you don't always know how to navigate in those situations. But I don't know. I'm not believing you. It's not that I don't believe that these things happen, but it's like, Giselle, do you really think? You say that Chris was not inappropriate. He didn't say anything. He didn't try to touch you. He didn't do anything to you. He was talking about Candace. the entire exchange. So what? Because I'm just trying to think if I was in that situation. Because I've been in situations, I've been in some situations. And I'm just trying to think, if I went back to a room with a guy and then I realized, oh, no one else is here, I'm going to be like, we're going to have to talk about this another time, sir. You know what I mean? I ain't about to be in a room alone with nobody husband. Ain't nobody about to come and accuse me of wanting a man. You gotta go. That's how rumors get started. Like, I will usher you up out of my space. Like, I'm not about to sit up there and be uncomfortable for nobody. I don't care if it makes you uncomfortable, but you're not gonna make me feel uncomfortable at my big age. And I'm not nowhere near Giselle's age, but I'm just saying, like, Giselle, you don't be shocked. I mean, I can't even, I don't know. This is a weird situation. But at the end of the day, I really feel like there was a better way to handle this. And I feel like, Giselle, you should have said something last season when the shit happened. You should have said something. You should have been like, oh, wait a minute now, Chris. I'm not about to be in this room alone with you. That's how rumors get started. We're going to talk about this another time, okay? It's been a long day. I've been sitting on that reunion couch. Like, as soon as I would have opened the door and saw that nobody was in there, I'd have been like, ooh, Chris, ain't nobody in here. Chris, you know what? Can we talk about this another time? I would not have even allowed you in the room with me. The way I am a paranoid bitch, I'm paranoid. I don't know you. You could be eating people on the low. I don't know you like that. Who knows people these days? Like, the way I would open that door and not seen nobody in there, I'd have been like, oh, no. You gotta go. You gotta go. Ooh, look at the time. It's late. Yeah, let's talk about this another day. You waited for the cameras to start rolling. So now I can't trust fully what Giselle is saying. Because why did you wait until the show started again? I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I'm with Robin on this. I'm with Candace on this. I will say this though, Chris. Y'all know I love me some Chris. I love me some Candace. I love them. But Chris, you fucked up. You fucked up. You too fucking friendly for your own good. You be trying to overextend yourself to these women and you're like, do you not know what show this is? I guarantee, I don't care, I don't know what you was going to talk to Giselle about or what you spoke to her about, but I guarantee you it wasn't needed. But you did this to yourself, Chris, by being extra friendly. You did this to yourself. I feel bad for the situation because now they're making you look like you're a creep. You run an establishment where you have a whole bunch of young women that work under you. This is not a good look. This is really not a good look for them to be saying this about you on television. But you're going to learn about being super, super friendly because I promise you, this is not the end. Other people will try you like this again. You might want to, that friendliness, you might want to cut that shit out because others will try you. Especially now that this narrative is out there about you, Chris, you better be careful with your friendliness. You might want to adopt the no new friends motto because I guarantee you others will try you. Because this is not a coincidence, Ashley and then Giselle. And it's like, y'all expect Candace to not feel attacked? And y'all been giving a lot of energy to Giselle, but Ashley's not innocent. Ashley's not innocent. The two of them are in on this together. They are in cahoots. They absolutely are. They planned this shit. And I hope, Chris, you learned a valuable lesson. I hope you did. And like I said, luckily for you, this was Giselle. And we all know that Giselle, we all know that Giselle is messy as hell. So I don't think too many people are going to take her seriously. But you might want to cut out that extra friendly. You be being a little too friendly. I hope you learn your lesson. I really hope that you learned your lesson because this is not a good look, Chris. This really isn't a good look. It's not. But yeah, Chris, you're lucky you got a wife that knows you and trusts you because this could have ended really, really bad for y'all. This could have ended really bad for you, Chris. But yeah, they hit us with a to be continued, so I'm sure we'll pick up where we left off, okay, in the next episode. But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. And please, tell a friend to subscribe too. Share my video to somebody. But yeah, thanks for watching.